Welcome back, guys, to our playthrough of Pokemon Gold. It'll be the last episode of this playthrough, in fact. And we're here in Pewter City in Kanto. I wanted to do a couple things that we didn't do throughout the playthrough, and since we arrived in Kanto for the first time. And we explored here, took on the gym leaders, and did all sorts of different things. But one thing that they removed was Viridian Forest, which I thought was kind of interesting. We took a look at that after capturing Lugia in the last episode. I was just like, okay, let's take a look, and just my plan was to save it before the entrance of Viridian Forest, but they like axed it, like it's removed from the game completely. So we just walked through what's there now, and apparently there's no zone or no, I don't know if I would call Viridian Forest a dungeon, but you know what I mean? Like it's not like its own separate thing. You can just walk from Viridian City directly to Pewter now. It's like no big deal. But one thing that I did want to do while we sort of reminisce over this playthrough was head over to Mount Moon. There is a scripted encounter between us and our rival. But before we do that, I want to shove Ho-Oh back in the box. I want to end with the team that made it this far. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quickly. All right, Ho-Oh's going to go in the box. Goodbye. Okay, and then we are going to get out our Ampharos. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do that as well. I just didn't want to say goodbye without having the team that brought me here. Okay, let's go ahead and grab that icon for that. Cool, Ampharos is looking, he's looking big. Let's go ahead and rechange that real quick, or resize that. Okay, that'll work for me. All right, so we're at the end now. The story is coming to a close. It's kind of sad, actually. Pokemon Gold was such an exciting game for me as a boy when I first got it, and I remember I told the story as to why, because so many people ask like why Pokemon Gold is my favorite Pokemon game, why Gen 2 is my favorite, and it's just the time in my life. And I've told this story before, but I feel like it bears telling again, so let's touch base. When Pokemon Gold was first announced, it was a big deal because we didn't have the internet or all sorts of smart devices that gave us like updates constantly on what we could be expecting in the gaming like world, genre, industry, whatever. So we had to like go to the grocery stores, and they had like those like unofficial Nintendo guides that I don't even know how those even got made. Like, how do you have an unofficial Nintendo guide where it's just a bunch of fans posting a bunch of theories that like they heard through the grapevine that like turned out to be false? The names are wrong of Pokemon, different Pokemon that they're rumored to appear in the games like don't ever show up. Like, it was just a weird thing, but that's all we had. And I remember there were some Japanese Pokemon cards that made their rounds in the apartment complex that I lived in, and the first one was Cyndaquil. It was in Japanese. We had no idea what the name actually was. Later, someone had a Murkrow card, which was interesting because it was the first time that we had seen a Dark-type Pokemon. But was also kind of cool was the card, because it was a black theme due to the dark Pokemon nature, or not nature because that's a thing, but like the nature of the card's design. The rarity icon was a circle, but it was white. So if you recall, the early Pokemon trading card game sets, they had which I think are probably still the same now. They had circle for common, diamond for uncommon, star for rare, and then like a handful of different star variants to indicate like super rare, ultra rare, whatever. So it was a white circle because it was a common card, but we didn't know that. We were like, oh wow, it's a white logo. This must be like, you know, a super rare Pokemon card in Japan or something or whatever. But it was in Japanese. We didn't even know it was what it was called, Murkrow. We just saw the bird Pokemon and the dark icon. And so when Pokemon Gold was finally like officially announced, and somehow we got information, maybe it was from not GameStop, because I don't think GameStop was around back then, but some video game store, I don't know, maybe it was like an advertisement like in a Target or something like that, and there was like a coming soon, something like that. And we saw that and everybody went nuts. Gold and Silver, it was just super exciting. New Pokemon. Some of the rumored Pokemon that we had heard about were real. Some of them were nowhere to be found because they were just rumors and weren't real at all. And I remember I got grounded for having like a D in English or whatever. And just to be clear, like I feel like, I don't know, I got punished a lot for subpar grades. And it wasn't like something that I felt like I was dumb or anything. It was just my ADHD made me like so not interested in doing things that I just like didn't do tests. Like I had this thing when I was like taking tests or whatever. They had like those Scantrons A, B, C, D. Sometimes, you know, there was an E or whatever. I just had this thing where I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do random filling in the circles, and I was the first one done with my test because I just couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus, and I got grounded because that led to a D in English. I was decent when it came to like articulating the written word in like our stories and other writing projects that we had, but the tests were weighted to be more. So like when I didn't do well on tests, that reflected poorly on me. I got grounded, and I was specifically punished where I couldn't play Pokemon Gold when it came out for the first 2 weeks. So I had to see as all my friends were going nuts over Pokemon Gold and Silver, and I couldn't touch mine for 2 weeks. And that really sucked. I don't know. When I'm a parent, I'm not sure if I'm going to handle it the same way, because like there's nothing worse than making a kid feel left out. But like on the other hand, it's like, I don't know. I got punished because of a mental disorder, and I also got punished from like a video game, which like, I don't know, maybe you could take away video games if you study and all that, but like it wasn't a studying problem. It wasn't that I didn't do homework because I did that. It was just I struggled with tests, and it was whatever. It's a whole thing. But it was really tough for me. So I had this huge anticipation around Pokemon Gold and Silver, more than I had for any other game ever. Because when Red and Blue first came out and then Yellow, we didn't know that there was going to be a sequel. We didn't know there was going to be more Pokemon. We had no freaking clue. In fact, I don't think we even knew like what new Pokemon were going to show up until there was the Southern Islands trading cards. It was the first set that I had ever seen where instead of like the Pokemon picture itself was like foil, the outside card and not the picture. It was reversed. The outside card was foil. I have a complete set actually in a binder back here. I have all of them. And I remember seeing it had Togepi was in there, Lapras was in there, Meryl was also in there. Let's see who else was in there. Mew was in it. There was, I think there was either Noctowl or Hoot Hoot. I'm not sure, but there's a whole bunch of Gen 2 Pokemon in there. And I think once we got like the Pokemon animated movie that showed off Togepi, that's when things sort of changed, where we were like, oh wow, like okay, so there's going to be more Pokemon coming down the line. I think the anime sort of prepped us for that. Like we assumed Togepi was going to be in Gen 2, and it was. But anyway, so those are the reasons why Pokemon were a big deal, because it was the first sequel to Pokemon that had a whole new experience, a whole new variety of 100 or so Pokemon on top of the originals. And I was grounded at that time, so like I was just like anxiously waiting to finally play the game that I've been waiting for so long for. So there's little bits and pieces for it, but having played the game now, having like replayed all this, I got so much flack from people. Like I even made a poll. I was like, what's your favorite like remaster of all the generations? So there was like Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, and Platinum are the main four. They didn't do remakes for any others after that. There wasn't like, after Black and White, there wasn't like a gray version or anything. And Crystal was higher than I expected, but it was, I think, the lowest one, or second lowest, simply due to the fact that there's just like so many issues that people brought up in a lot of the comments about Pokemon Crystal having like an issue with its like level curve, the fact that the trainers and the gym leaders are so weak, the fact that you have so many Gen 2 Pokemon that are like locked behind the end game and no trainers to like face with them, except if you want to replay the Elite Four or taking on Red, which kind of sucks. Elemental stones aren't available until the end game, which is really frustrating for people who, like me, want to get like, you know, an Arcanine with a Firestone. You had to wait until you got to the very end in Cerulean City, which like sucked. Like there's a whole bunch of little things like that. The map direction is a little confusing. Like there's just so many silly choices that I don't remember as a kid, but as an adult, I'm like, okay, there was a bad design philosophy with so much of this. The game direction was really bad. But I mean, it's still, playing this still brought back like a wave of nostalgia that makes me endlessly happy. And as I pointed out, I think I said this in the last episode or so, like one of the last couple of episodes, the Pokemon Gold playthrough has been very successful on the Marcanine channel. Like, I'm a very small channel, and I don't get like that many views. And views are important because it lets me know the kind of stuff that you like, the stuff that you want to see, the things that you enjoy. But I think also, I think most importantly, it makes me feel like I'm making content for people that want to watch it. Because there's nothing worse than being like in a position to make YouTube videos and like nobody's watching. That just feels really bad. It's not a good feeling. I feel dreadful about it. It just sucks. And surprisingly, I'm getting like 100 views like per video at least. And I've been looking and it's like 100 to 400. And I'm like, dang, people really liked Pokemon Gold. And before that was Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Blue, and those did very well, but Pokemon Gold is really where it took off. So many new people subscribed to the channel, so many new people commented because of these videos, so many more likes and all that, so many people joined the Discord server, like so much conversation. We had to make a Pokemon text channel in the Discord server so people could talk about like all things Pokemon. We made a trading card text channel in the Discord so people can talk about Pokemon cards, even though you can talk about whatever trading cards you want, but Pokemon was in there. And it's like the community is being built around this specific game, which is like really surprising to me. But it means a lot. Like, it's so heartwarming to see how many people really tuned in to watch this series. And it I don't know. It was a big deal to me. It was a big deal. I love this game. A lot of you guys love this game, but also hate the game in a way where it's like, it's not your favorite, but you still love it because Johto is a great place. It's a ton of fun. There's a lot of cool things that you can do here. But like the issues that exist in this game, like they exist hard. Like they are a nuisance. Issues in this game are a nuisance, I tell you, but it's still overall a really fun experience. It was amazing to get through Johto and then head over to Kanto for the first time and to see all that, see familiar faces, take on familiar gym leaders. It was disappointing how easy all that stuff was and how it felt, but like, you know, whatever. That's life. You can't have your cake and eat it too always. Although I kind of feel like that's BS, because if you're eating the cake, you had the cake. So you can have the cake, take a bite, and you're eating the cake and you still have more cake. So I feel like you can have your cake and eat it too. It's a stupid statement. I hate that. I hate that statement. But as I had mentioned, the reason why we're even here in Pewter in the Kanto side of things is because I wanted to take a look at Viridian Forest, but that's been removed from the game as one of the places that we didn't explore. And then the other place was Mount Moon. So I thought we would head over to this direction and just see what's over here. There might be a trainer or two. Yeah, there's a couple of trainers here. And I think also Silver is here as well. So we're going to take on the trainers and just casually talk while we knock these guys out with our team. The thumbnail image for this video contains everyone from the team: Ampharos, Shiny Kingdra, Espeon, Arcanine, Scizor, and Furret. I think it's quite ceremonious to put Arcanine on there due to being one of my favorite Pokemon and a significant influence in my name here on YouTube. So we'll take these guys on. I don't know what to do. Lose is what you're gonna do. But I think, man, it's crazy to think that, like, I wouldn't say my channel is blowing up, but we did hit 10,000 subscribers while playing Pokemon Gold. So I would say I owe a lot of where the channel is and the growth and the views and like the community like involvement specifically. I owe it almost entirely to Pokemon. Well, maybe not all, but I would say like 90% of it to Pokemon Gold, which is just one more reason to freaking love it. Like it's been fantastic. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative. It feels so good. And actually, I have a counter here. I didn't even realize that, but I have played Pokemon Gold for just over 25 hours now. We'll wrap it up probably around 25 hours and maybe 30 minutes is how long it took to beat this. I can run like the wind. And you'll probably burn like a matchstick when Arcanine torches you with his flamethrower. But I don't know. This is one of the things that makes, I hate saying it, but being a content creator worth it is seeing the involvement, seeing the love, seeing the passion in the comments, and like the likes. I mean, from a statistical standpoint, numbers matter, right? Views matter, subscribers matter, likes matter. These are all things that I look at every single day, and it is a big deal to me. But it's nice to see that people are like engaged in content that I like making. That's like the most fun thing. So, you know, there's always going to be a lot of content on the channel for you to engage in. We have over 100 completed playthroughs on the channel. I've completed now Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold, and Crystal. We're replaying Crystal as well. We're going to do that right after Gold, is we're going to do a fresh new Crystal playthrough because I wasn't able to complete all the Johto stuff. So we're going to do that in Crystal as well. I'm going to do some new things in there that I'm excited for. And then we've completed Emerald. The weather's fine as ever. We completed Emerald, which I kind of regret. I should have done Ruby or Sapphire first, but we're going to play one of those eventually. And then I didn't do Diamond or Pearl, but we did Platinum. That's up on the channel. Black version is up on the channel. I didn't do Black 2 or the Whites 1 and 2 yet, but we're going to do that eventually as well. Fire Red is up on the channel. We've got Violet up on the channel. Arceus on the channel. Pokemon Sword on the channel. Like, there's a lot of Pokemon content if you want to watch it. So we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing in the future, Pokemon related and not Pokemon related, but specifically in regards to Pokemon. If you're enjoying the Pokemon Gold stuff, go take a look at those playthroughs, man. I've got so much stuff up here, and it's kind of interesting to go back and watch like older playthroughs, because like Pokemon Red version is like 7 years old. Pokemon Crystal is almost 7 years old. But because the save file got corrupt in that, I'm gonna redo that one. It'll probably be the only game that I replay on the channel for that purpose alone, because it got corrupt. So there's lots of stuff there to look at. But thank you guys, though, for watching the Pokemon Gold playthrough. Thank you for being involved. Thank you for helping the channel grow. Like, thank you for chatting with me and making me laugh and making me think and helping me out. It's sunny, but I'm all wet. Jesus, man, do I turn you on that much? Seriously. Like, thank you for just, you know, engaging in the stuff that I make, because it doesn't feel good when you spend time on stuff and you don't, you know, you don't get that engagement. Step right up and take a look. But this playthrough, I think Pokemon Blue was the first kickoff of people being like, okay, like Marcanine's doing some Pokemon stuff again, let's watch that. Pokemon Yellow, a lot of people giving me tips. I had a great time with Pokemon Yellow, had a lot of fun with that. I think everything that bothered me about Red and Blue was fixed in Pokemon Yellow. I loved Pokemon Yellow. Like, I think I love Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal so much, but I think Yellow is like objectively a better game than all three of those. Because like there's a difference between what I love or like, what's my favorite, and like what's actually good. Like, I know Gold is not the best game in the series, not even close. It's probably Platinum is probably the best one. Oh, he might, well, would he live through that, even though I'm so high above, like 40 levels over? No, just too strong. So, I don't know, just thank you for that participation and whatnot. I'm excited to continue doing more stuff, but still. Or, I don't know, should we walk through Mount Moon entirely? Oh, Silver's right inside. It's been a while, Mark. Since I lost to you, I thought about what I was lacking with my Pokemon, and we came up with an answer. Mark, now we'll show you. This will be the last time that we face the rival. I don't think there's any way to replay him either, I think, or rebattle him. He's not a champion or anything like that, so there's nothing that he can do in the league. I wish they would do that, though. I wish you could go and rebattle the Pokemon, like the Elite Four, the Pokemon League, and like there's, I don't know, some sort of circumstance where like you face Lance and like, I don't know, maybe Silver butts in, and then Lance is like, oh, sorry, dude, you know, this guy already beat me. And then Silver's like, okay, fight me then. So you have like the champ plus a rival battle. Would have been fun. I thought that would have been really cool. But I was really looking forward to fighting him in here, and I didn't know exactly where he was at for that. So I'm happy to see that he's like right inside. But it's kind of sad, man. It's sad when I beat a game that had such a significant impact on my childhood. Video games are everything. I was a lonely kid. I had even when people were around, I still felt really lonely, which is kind of pathetic. And as an adult now, it's like I like look forward to being alone or being secluded. Like, I don't like going out and being overly social. I just can't, I don't know, I just can't turn that on all the time. I mean, depending on how the channel grows, and if I ever go to like VidCon and anybody wants to do a meetup, that might be a different thing. But like, it's crazy to think that we could put an effort and that could happen someday. I wish that would happen, but like at the same time, I feel like that's sort of arrogant to expect it to happen, because I certainly don't think it will happen, but I would like it to happen. But I'll tell you, if it does, if the channel ever grows to a point where people recognize me at VidCon, and like we take pictures and we talk and we shake hands and whatever, that'll be really fun. But then I'm gonna like become secluded and sit in my apartment in the dark for like 6 months, just because like I'm so like introverted in that. It's like I don't know, I can handle extroverted requirement situations, but like, man, I love peace and quiet. I love solitude. And recently I've discovered that I like reading, which is like a huge thing for me. I had no idea. I started reading a book and it's like making me think, and it's making me cry, and it's making me laugh, and it's like I just haven't had the attention span to read. And just been reading this book, and it's like changing my life. I feel bad for Silver. He didn't lay one single hit on me, but I will say Meganium looks really great. I love that sprite so much. I love how Meganium looks. Meganium. And that's it. Goodbye to the rival. We'll never see him again. I thought I raised my Pokemon to be the best they could be, but it still wasn't enough. You won, fair and square. I admit it, but this isn't the end. I'm gonna be the greatest Pokemon trainer ever, because these guys are behind me. Listen, Mark, one of these days, I'm gonna prove how good I am by beating you. I wonder, let's take a look one more time. I just want to see if that's not true. Like, do we... Let's see if, I want to see if he... Let's see if he shows up, anytime ever again. I do wonder. Silver first appears in Gen 2 games, lurking outside. Silver shows the strongest like team. By the time player reaches victory. After the players become champions, Silver can indeed be found training in the Dragon's Den on Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, where he cannot be battled. On Monday and Wednesday, he will appear at Indigo Plateau and will challenge a player to battle if they appear there. He does not appear at all on Friday or the weekends, indicating that he may in fact take the day off resting his Pokemon. That's so cool. I didn't know that. So he's not gone forever. Sweet, so we can beat him again. Oh, that's fun. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's good. I'm glad that he's not gone forever. Let's see. When battled, okay, let's see. When battled the 7th and final time at Indigo Plateau, Silver seems to have finally learned to care for his Pokemon properly, as his Golbat has evolved into Crobat, which only occurs when Golbat is friendly. This is further expressed in Generation 4 when his starter Pokemon starts to follow him around. Much like the player's Pokemon, Professor Elm even expressly states that Silver's Pokemon have come to trust him when Silver returns to the lab, presumably to return the starter he stole. Oh. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Lance and Claire appear in the Dragon's Den and challenge the player and Silver to a multi-battle following the battle at Mountain Moon, giving the chance to avenge his loss from earlier. That is so cool. Oh, interesting. So, okay. Huh. So Giovanni and Silver's relationship, because Silver is Giovanni's son, which means that Giovanni has a thing for redheads. His relationship is first alluded in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, and Team Rocket scientist Gideon at the Rocket Warehouse on 5 Island asks Red if he is Giovanni's kid, but concludes he is not, saying that Giovanni's kid has red hair. More information is revealed in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver when a fateful encounter, Celebi, is brought to Ilex Forest Shrine. Celebi takes the player back in time 3 years to witness Giovanni abandoning Silver to go into seclusion because of his defeat at the hands of Red. Silver's hate for Team Rocket apparently stems from the failure of his father. Cool. Well, I'm glad that Silver's not, like, gone forever, so that's kind of fun. I wonder... Yeah, so he's not there on the weekends. I wonder if I could change the date and time and, like, just so see if we can fight him again, just for fun. Just, like, as a fun last thing. But yeah, we can get through Mount Moon is kind of like, is super barren. Is there anything even here? Yeah, so we're out of it now. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. I remember there was a way for me to change the date and time, but yeah, where am I? Do I have to fight these fools? I do. No, I don't. That's nice. They give you a little path to get out of here if you don't want to fight them. Can I walk over? I can, and then we can go to Cerulean, and then I can... Yeah, I guess Ampro's going back in the box. Now, you know what? It's fine. I don't really need to beat Silver again. We'll worry about that another day. Well, should we? Can I fly to Indigo Plateau from here? I don't actually know if I can. Let me take a look at the map and see. I'm just curious. God, why can't I remember where to go here? Boop, 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 boop. Victory Road. Yeah, so you can pop up in Indigo Plateau there. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm just gonna fly over there. And then we'll battle him one more time. I'll just take a look and see if there's like a quick code that we can enter or something so I can change the date and then battle him. I just want to see what he's up to. One more battle. I think that would be fun. Alright. Okay. So now we'll go fly to Indigo Plateau and then I'll put OO back in the box. I think Indigo Plateau is probably a good place for us to wrap things up anyway for the playthrough. I almost don't even want to say goodbye. Like, that's the thing, is like, I don't even want to really leave. Training in the Dragon's Den on Tuesday. On Monday and Wednesday, he'll appear at Indigo Plateau. Okay, so if I go to the box here, I wonder if I can leave. Try to find this little code. And then see if we can beat him out. Because I'm curious as to what his dialogue says. As a kid, I don't know if I knew that. I don't know if you could... I didn't know that you could see him again. Alright. Because I made a video in Crystal how you can actually change the date and time, but like I honestly don't even want to do that. Okay, so I think if we stand here... Okay, let's see. Pokemon Gold... Change date and time cheat. Why not? Okay. Don't forget that you can easily manipulate the golden time in Gold and Silver with no downsides. On the select screen, select down. Yeah. I guess we could probably just change the date and time. I wish I could. I probably should change. Oh boy. English. Okay, let's see. Heart Gold or Soul Silver. Let's go. Wondering now. Okay, so basically what we got to do to change the date and time is do the trainer ID. Is that... Nope, it's under my name. That's what it is. My trainer ID 61081. Money is 20552. Password is 01182. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save this, and then we should be able to say it through the date and time. On the title screen. Okay. All right, let's see real quick. Let's do... What is it? What is... How do you restart the game? What was that? We'll just do it real quickly this way. I'm just going to close it and relaunch it. Okay. On the title screen, select down and B. Select down B. There we go. Reset the clock. Oops. Damn it. Hit the wrong button. All right. And then my password that I generated for myself is 01182 1182. Oh, you bitch. That doesn't make sense. All right, sorry for the jump cut. My camera froze and I had to reset something, but I figured it out somehow. So I couldn't get it to set to Friday for some reason, but I was able to get it to Monday, which is a battle day. So here's what I did. Or here's what you could do. So if you're using an emulator, somehow the game's time is tied to the outside clock on the PC, but in a weird way, not in the way that you would think. So if it's Saturday for you and you manually change the date and time on your computer to roll it back to Friday, it didn't work. No, it didn't work for me. I don't know why, but I rolled it back one day before and it wouldn't go to Friday. So I just kept on changing the date and time, and like I saw the clock going live change from Saturday, because it's Saturday for me recording this, and it flipped over to Sunday, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I kept on just toggling the dates, and eventually Monday popped up, even though the date that I chose is like not even is not a Monday, but somehow it worked. So I don't know. Change the date and time manually and just tinker with it while you're on this screen in the Pokegear, and it should work. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why, but that's what happened. But anyway, we can take on the rival in our final encounter right here before we take on the Elite Four. Stoked. I'm glad we got that. We got a solution. It's a weird, wacky one, but it worked. Hold it. You're gonna take the Pokemon League Challenge now? That's not gonna happen. But my super well-trained Pokemon are gonna pound you. Mark, I challenge you. Huh, that's so funny. I can't believe that actually worked. All right, let's see how he goes against us this time. So we have Sneasel, level 45. Okay, so he's still not like, he's not crazy strong or anything. Arcanine should be able to take him down with Flamethrower. I should have healed up first, but we've got one Flamethrower per Pokemon should be enough. I just wanted to experience the dialogue with him. But now that I see that he challenged me as we're going to go up to the Elite Four, I feel like this is coming back to me. I feel like I remember this now. Crobat, yep, so he evolved his Golbat, and this is the first time that we've seen his Crobat, right? He's not had one before. Am I wrong? He didn't have one, right? This is in fact the first time he's had it. So earlier when I mentioned it'd be cool to fight him like with the Elite Four thing, it's amazing that you actually can do that. It's just before it and not after it, which is fine. That makes perfect sense. It's a good way to get some experience too if you just want to, well, you can only do it probably once a day, only a couple times a week, so. But you know, whatever. It's an extra battle. I'm so glad that he doesn't say goodbye. It bummed me out that in the first gen game you can only re-encounter Blue over and over again in the Elite Four. This is a little bit nicer, where he's not a member of the Elite Four, he's not a champion, not Blue, but your rival. And you can experience all that again. It's a good fond farewell to Pokemon Gold version by taking him on once more. I'm excited about that. This is so cool, you guys. I'm excited that we actually got this to work and we found a solution. And it sucks because after this is goodbye to Pokemon Gold. Not goodbye to Gen 2 though entirely, because like I said, we're going to do a replay of Pokemon Crystal, so you can be on the lookout for that. And then we still have Heart Gold and Soul Silver to play, which I was really looking forward to. I'm very much looking forward to those. The Crobat high friendliness thing, that's very interesting. That almost suggests that if Crobat wasn't available in the Kanto region, and then if that no one who had a Golbat ever treated it friendly, which makes me wonder who all had Golbat in Gen 1? Was it just Team Rocket? Is that how they like made logic of that? Because like Eevee evolves with high friendship into Umbreon and Espeon, so it makes no sense because I feel like everyone who loves Eevee, which means you'd be treating Eevee very, very well as a friend and as a pet. So it's strange to me that for some reason, like, that is how you evolve Eevee now. But I do think during Gen 2's development, I read somewhere or heard from a YouTuber that apparently there was like a stone, like a sunstone and a dusk stone to evolve or something like that. There were stones to evolve Eevee into Umbreon and Espeon, which makes more sense to me than friendship during day and night. That seems silly. Okay, I lost. Darn, I still can't win. I have to think more about my Pokemon. Huh, try not to lose. I guess that's kind of it. That was not the dialogue I was expecting, but I guess we did it. All right. Well, my friends, we're about to say goodbye, but it's only temporary, right? You'll see me again with more playthroughs on the Marcanine channel, more Pokemon playthroughs in particular, but there are a lot of playthroughs on the channel, over 100 completed games that you can take a look at any time, spanning over the last 3 years. So if you want to take a look at those, there's definitely some content there that you can enjoy. But we've done a lot in this playthrough. We got only 40 Pokemon, so it's not really like a whole lot, but we got a pretty solid team, which you can see below. We captured all the legendaries available in the game, and we beat Red, which was like the real end game challenge. But anyway, we had a lot of words, we shared a lot of emotions and sentiment in this episode, and I'm hoping you enjoyed this episode of the playthrough, and you can show your love by hitting the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. Any feedback for me, leave in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to take a look at the description box. There's some links that might be of interest to you, one of which is a link to the Marcanine Community Discord server. If you want to be part of that group, you can chat with me directly. Otherwise, just know I appreciate you and your time, and especially hearing me out, talking about all my feelings and emotions in childhood. And I hope to see you when we continue with a brand new playthrough. New episodes debut daily at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's right, you get 2 videos a day on the Marcanine channel, so don't miss out on that. Pokemon Crystal's up next, so be sure to go ahead and take a look at that. And just know that there's going to be 2 versions of Pokemon Crystal up on the channel. The original playthrough from years ago, and the more recent playthrough that takes place in 2023, so you can enjoy that if you want. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. Take care of yourselves, be well, and I hope to see you around. Later.